I'm keeping that for some mining. Oh, that'll do. Balance it. I want his nails. I want to do something with his nails. We give him his book back. About Jake's body.
A sheep? That's a whole heap of nonsense. Don't bother me with such wild tales.
Tell you what. You tell me the truth about the sheep and I won't bother burying you alongside it. I've heard that you're a good man. Now is your chance to help your community. Come clean, and whoever's responsible for taking the body can be brought to justice. Look, it's clear I'm only a few steps away from solving the mystery. If you don't tell me, I don't think we are a few steps away from solving this mystery. I think we're going to go with Intimidate. He's got better Intimidate. Got a Charisma bonus as well. As long as we can keep ahead of him, we'll be alright. But then these have always been close, haven't they? The music's gone quiet. I don't know what to do next. Ah. It's not going to make this easy, is he? It worked. Todd has won the argument.
Come now, there's no need for all that then. I'll tell you the story as best I know it.
Wise choice.
I buried that blasted sheep, but I swear on my lucky left foot I had nothing to do with that body disappearing. 1 minute it was on my slab, you see. I left the room for just a moment to answer the bell in the front parlour, and when I returned, the body was simply gone. In its place was a sack containing more gold coins than I could even count. The message was clear. Silence is golden.
That's a very clear message.
My business has been declining right alongside the rest of our blighted city. And that sack of gold was worth more than I made during one of the good years. I needed cash, and someone needed my silence. I knew I had to bury something or risk being found out. So that night, I stole into the market and made off with Bertia's fattest sheep. It was a bloody waste to stick so much fine meat into the ground to rot, but it had to be done. The next day, the pallbearers retrieved Jake's coffin, sealed to hide the body's terrible wounds, none the wiser that within the casket lay nothing more venerable than a slaughtered beast. Now, you can imagine I've spent more than my share of restless nights wondering who could have wanted that cadaver and for what purpose. I'm not an inch closer to imagining the why, but I've got a few inklings as to the who. Near as I can reckon, there are only 4 people who could have been involved. Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, Theleron's apprentice Evelyn, and Esmeralda.
These are names that keep popping up every time. Why do you suspect
Plenty
the
of
mayor?
us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know. And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary.
He's also a well, I'd say simpleton. He's elderly, losing his sight and his hearing, and he's a bit simple.
He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined.
I don't know if he's capable. Captain Aureus?
Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains.
So why didn't you...
Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't. I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary, and there was something about her that night, some kind of excitement.
Interesting.
Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts, that there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young medical professional would have such a strange reaction to an occasion such as that. And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. But her master, Dr. Theleron, bought an old shack of mine one overtaken by undead, for an exorbitant price considering what he was getting. I never did figure what he wanted it for, but he sure seemed eager.
That's just brought Thelron into this mystery as well, hasn't it?
I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlour.
I think we understand why she's not that distraught, though.
It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched. Lured me outside, claiming she needed air, before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting the oh-so-overcome Esmeralda.
Yeah, it's possible, though. It is plausible. About the bag of gold.
That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair, and I certainly plan on making some use of it.
Ooh, I like reason. Surely Berta, whose sheep you stole, deserves this money more than anyone. And over the gold to make its way to its rightful owner. Quite like that. Or we could just go intimidate again and see what happens. I don't know what I'm like on reason. I don't think I can check either, can I? No. It won't let me. Won't let me do it with that one. I do like that. He seems like a reasonable fella. And I don't have a higher intimidation. Charm never really works for me. Hand over this blood money before it stains your reputation and your conscience. Try reason. Oh, I'm 3 and he's 3. Okay, it's a bit fairer then. Great start. I do quite like this system. And I'm guessing that you can build this up. Context bonus, interesting. I'm guessing you can build this up to, like, within 2 you'll win kind of thing. But it does heap on a little bit of pressure. Like, this isn't... It's total random. It's total random. We won though, we won again.
No, there's no need for all that. Take the gold then, and we'll call the rest even, okay?
I'm fair with that.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul-flush sad story
murder.
that I just concern myself with giving the... Like I said,
Body.
I'm sure as sin not the ghoul responsible for...
No. Has he gone upstairs? I want this.
Striking it rich!
Maybe. What does it say? Furthermore, I found it impossible. Oh, anyone but... Yeah, he's told us that. Moving the body. One of them must have been involved. As long as no one digs up Jake's coffin, he'd... Yeah, okay.
Looks like the mortician is rather suspicious about Jake.
What could Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, or Evelyn have to do with it?
We need to go to the homestead. Is there anything interesting up here? Key in a chest. Do we risk it?
Hey, what's in the post?
Fate is an ice-cold mistress.
What? What? No. This isn't... I didn't want to... We can't get out, can we? I didn't want to fight him. Alright, so we could just teleport in. We have to teleport in within the doorway. That's a cool little move. I do like that. And then get around the back. I don't want to kill him. Oh, we have vampiric touch now. That's on a ring we've got. I don't want to kill him. Do we reload? Yeah, I don't feel good about killing him. I really don't feel good about killing him. 51. Must be that. I like the combat music though. Very cool. Well, there's no point in stealing that either, is there? Because the book doesn't give us anything. It's things that you learn, I guess. I don't know what to do now.
Tell me,
So the mortician admitted to stealing the sheep, and it still isn't completed.
The sun is out.
Do we just go and talk to the captain? Because he's clearly dodgy. And yeah, I know that we've got this this other bit to do with the what do you call it? The stones, the bigger mystery, the main story as such. We're burning up when we stand by a fire. I do have stuff to steal. Oh, I found... I stole an identifying glass as well. Which... What silver did we get? I found an identifying glass, which means that we can now identify armor, which is pretty cool. And it isn't a one-use item, which I thought it might be. It's just a permanent thing, it seems. So that's good.
The Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour.
This guy's an ass. He really is an
Oh,
ass.
still not finished. It was stolen. Gods, what a fool that Roberts is. Taking a bribe in beleaguered old Sicil. Ah, what was he going to do with that gold? Buy the largest kipper in the land?
He does not like this
He
place,
has a
does
lot to answer for. But not as much as the one that did the bribing in the first place. Guess your mission is pretty clear, isn't it? Off you go to find this munificent body snatcher. You dare stand here and accuse me of involvement in this sordid affair? You dare accuse a captain of the Legion? Get out! Out! Before I have my men erect a gallows and string up a sauce pinata!
You want to try that again?
Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour. Whom would you have the Legion arrest?
Mortician.
He already
probably
came
let it
clean and
slide.
expressed his
Do we
remorse.
think?
We should let this one slide.
He is guilty, but he did give us the money after I beat him at rock, paper, scissors.
Right you are. Succumbing to a temporary temptation shouldn't be enough to land a man in jail, even if he technically committed a crime.
Why bring up the subject of arresting someone if you don't dare go— Oh, still not fit. It was stolen? Yes, yes. Well, I assume you suspect the mayor? Dear me, you couldn't be further from the mark if you lay the blame on a paraplegic cow. The man raised a foundling orc out of the goodness of his heart, you dolt. A murder indeed. Evelyn? Master Theriron's apprentice? Nice lass, huh? Brewed me a potion once that cured me of a rash more bothersome than a badger down your breeches. No, she doesn't seem like the type to play hide-and-seek with stiffs to me.
All right. Did Catman see anything? Is he even here? Here he is. Ahu. I like Ahu as well.
How can I help
you,
my friend?
I found the second teleporter pyramid in Lady Cecilia's bathroom. Didn't peg you for a peeping tomcat.
What? I'd never. If you must know, I was merely checking up on Maxine, the mayor's cat. What a delight she is.
Oh God.
The temperament of a tiger, the grace of a leopard, and the manners of a lady all rolled into one. A perfect puss, if ever there was one. By all means.
Jake's
Of course.
murder.
I hope your investigation fares well.
Who, in your opinion, are the suspects?
I myself have none. Even now, it may well be established that she is, in fact, the guilty
Yeah,
party.
we know this. What happened the
I'm not,
night of the
I
murder?
can but piece together what few more they say. A woman arrived and I say,
we've heard all
man, it
this
took
as
a
well.
while. How and why he came to his body is
Jake's
gone,
corpse.
replaced with that of a sheep. This is all very disconcerting, to say the least. Grave robbery reeks of necromancy. Could Jake have been involved with those that raise the dead?
It's possible, but I don't think so.
Seems too improbable to be true, but nevertheless. You're onto something, Hunter. Do follow the scent and see where it leads you.
Okay. I guess we will have to. That's a big gem. Why is all this weird stuff? We can't take any of this, can we? I don't want to start stealing. I don't see the point at this point. I really want to. I want to talk to Bertha again and give her some cash. She's over here somewhere. Yeah, she is. Look at that, I'm remembering how to get around. And then, I don't actually know what we're doing. What level are we, actually? Level 3. We do have a little bit of leveling up to do. I'm going to wait till level 4 and do it.
Wing of worm, brew and spice and stir and churn.
So
I'm not in
Sanders,
combat
eh?
yet.
All right, proper with if you've got a favourite sheep. That louse! Did he even bother grilling a single luscious chop? I bet he wasted every last morsel. Captain Aureus will have a thing or two to say about this.
Okay. Was that it done then? Fair enough. We decided to keep him out of prison and then we sent him to prison. We need to find his fancy collar. I have no idea what that would be.
Scrolls to entussle you.
So, Conrad, a merchant in charge of the ship. Do want to do that. Burial mounds we can't get to yet. Church, I don't think we can get to yet. We still need to go and find the guy in the house on the outskirts that we saw last stream with the original characters. That hasn't been done yet. I think I'm leaning towards accepting this Fabulous Fives We also did the same thing with the orc, the female orc, and convinced the guards to let her live. It's still an open quest, so that's going to come back and bite us in the ass, isn't it? We met Cedric. We wanted a crowd. We need to do something about these statues as well. And we need to do something about Headless Nick. We apparently found a book of rude jokes. That has something to do with Headless Nick. And as he's over here, we'll go and see him. Then we'll go back to the harbour. We'll try and find this comrade.
Fantastic!
Fantastic.
Talk to the head.
This I have heard from Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autographs will have to wait.
Back for more, I see! Well, I can't say I'm surprised. What with Stefan rattling off
Your
legendary
competition, Cedric.
Yes, I know of that talentless bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure the hack simply bored his audience to tears until they cried for a replacement. Enter Reginald the Illusionist. We need our boys in red happy, relaxed, and ready to fight. Not wasting their energies cringing at a fool with a depressed rabbit in a borrowed hat. Why do I care what tall Ted...
We need to find some way of getting ahead. Can Ulgraf do it? Oh, we're supposed to give Cedric the book.
Ah, a familiar face.
Tell me about the competition between you and
It
Reginald.
seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, feats of wit, and pure entertainment. This curio is ruining what used to be an art. And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw. Sure as the sun sets, that one devotee attracts 5 more, and those 5 more all curious about the commotion. I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between his hat and his boots than I've in my crusty handkerchief.
Did we get rid of the joke book then? Have I sold it to one of... I've sold loads of books.
Don't pity when Reginald...
I guess we're supposed to give him the
Can you spare a coin?
book. But I've done something with the book.
Come on!
Crowd, read.
Can't you hear the stage calling you?
So it's cracking up a crowd with a definitive guide.
Ah, a familiar face. Come, watch the show.
We can't do anything with it.
I promise it'll take your mind off beheading baddies. Or whatever it is you do. It seems... And... I don't know.
Don't know what I'm supposed to do. We haven't done the stage master thing as well. That might be something to do with
this
it.
time?
About to
Ready
begin.
for your trial by not planning on playing to an empty audience.
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity. Not long now, not long now, not long now. A few more moments,
We've been
and
through
now,
all this.
now. Not long now, now. Let's
wait
a
for
few more
crowd.
moments, and the crowd will be all settled. A few more moments, a few more moments. Not long now, not long now. Not long now, now. Not long now, now. Let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet,
Oh, we
but
can
your
see them
show
coming
is
in,
sure
right?
to knock
Let's
the
just
crowd's
stand here
socks
like an
off.
idiot then.
As soon as they settle into their
We'll
seats,
tell a
that
different joke,
is.
but I want to see what happens. Let's
The
begin.
stage is yours.
We did the dwarven funeral, didn't we? Every 10 years, an elven wood priests in their monastery are allowed to break their vow of silence to speak 2 words.
Bravo!
The crowd breaks into an approving chuckle. Continue, by all means.
Bravo!
10 years go by and it's one priest's first chance.
Fantastic!
He thinks for a second before saying food bad.
Oh, there's an encore.
Eager to hear more, the crowd leans forward with great interest. One lady in the back is already chuckling. She must have heard this one before.
10 years later, he says, bed hard.
Fantastic!
The crowd's curiosity is piqued. Oh, do go on before they explode.
It's a really lame end. It's the big day. A decade later, gives the head priest a long stare and says, I quit.
Fantastic!
That's it, Source Hunter. You've got this joyful crowd right where you want them. Now, take them on home.
I do like that. I'm not surprised the
I
Elven High
hope
Priest
there's an
says,
encore.
you've been complaining ever since you got here.
Bravo!
I like that, actually.
They
I
like
thought
you.
that was going to be terrible.
They really, really like you. Well done, Source Hunter.
But what does that do? What does that give us?
Sherman, show all of them. Seal, what you're made of.
Can we talk to them?
No, I hope there's an encore.
That was really something else. I'll never
Can we
forget
talk
it.
to him?
What is it this time? Katarina's given the go-ahead. Tell me when you're ready to begin, and I'll show you to
what
your
did you think of my
well,
one-man show?
I must say that was, well, impressive. A bit like myself during my blue period, if I do say so myself. Here, have a little something from the fair coffer. I dare say you've earned it.
Take my leave, I guess. What did I get? Somehow we've got 3,000 gold now. That's gone up 1,000 in about 5 minutes. Let's have a chat with Cedric now, having done that.
Ah, a familiar face. It seems even I don't know.
I don't know. Don't know what we're supposed to do with this quest. I don't get it. So we're gonna go and find the guy that did the thing. Why are we moving? Oh, that's
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've
group's
got
too
the
far away.
foulest of the lot on my...
I didn't realise we'd become unattached. Conrad, I want to say. We need to find a Conrad. There was somebody with a name somewhere, wasn't there? I think it was down there. Guys over here had names. I'm sure it was Conrad. Let's check. Mighty Staff. Conrad the Merchant. And this is a fairly large ship. Sailor, we've got Marv. Conrad, there we go.
Really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it out within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Sicile?
Yeah, it's full of orcs, undead, and a weird murder that I can't solve. Is any of this worth it? Not really. It's not better enough, is it? Are they?
Is that why we never sail for your door anymore?
I do need some better armor, but tell me about the stuff.
Aye, that Cecil's worse than a rooster. Crowing all around town about matters he ought to know. I better keep quiet. Well, if you know about the staff, I suppose you also know it's gone without a trace.
I do.
For my part, I haven't a clue where it could have gone. Overboard, stolen, or vanished into thin air. Though I'm quite eager to see it return. I've got a reputation to uphold, you know.
I understand.
Wouldn't hurt to ask some of my men. I tried myself, but sailors tend to be a bit tight-lipped when they're afraid of getting one another in some trouble. Seaman's code, you know. Not to rat out a fellow sailor.
What do you think of the attack on the harbour?
Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds launching an attack on a city where a great wizard resides. Though even I must admit they put up a hearty effort. I'll tell you, the only time I'd consider waging a suicide campaign like that would be if whatever I sought was something worth dying over.
That's an interesting idea. Tell me about yourself.
Conrad, cargo trader, sea captain, an expert in all things nautical. Folks across Andervale know to give old Conrad a holler when it comes to rare imports and magical items.
But you haven't got anything good.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love
Talk to his sailors
here, inside Seal? Bah! Of all the cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one.
Tell me about
Staff or
Staff.
what now? No, never heard of it, much less seen it. Check with one of the others, maybe.
I will.
Yes? I've work to do, so please be brief.
Pablo with his book.
No,
I
it
might
is.
have that.
He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught.
About
I
the burning
thought
ship.
the old gal's fate was sealed when the orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails. But you managed to rescue her from a watery grave. Closest thing to a miracle I've ever seen.
I like his
I wouldn't let
charisma
on
in
within
his
500
voice.
yards of my loving nature.
Stick a leave, read the book,
Ever heard about the time the captain
and
took
then
the
sell it back to
Duchess
him.
of Fennel's carriage for the joyride?
Patty cake, patty cake.
No, it ain't. He drove
We've
it
already
straight
read
to
it.
the pub and back.
Right.
Sauce? Here? Inside Seal?
I'm
Bah!
going to sell it back to you then.
Of all the
Ramsey.
cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one.
You accept
Sailor,
my
what news
offer
from the mainland?
of a book.
Oh, nothing new, sir. Speaking of
A
sauce,
gold piece.
Here, inside Seal. Dow. Of all that
Ah.
cursed hunks of rock to land on,
But you've got a note as
Conrad
well.
chooses this one.
Tell me
Now
about the
that you
staff.
mention it, I noticed Dietmar, a fellow merchant travelling with us, carrying a sealed box off the ship during the attack. At the time, I figured he was just escaping with his personal effects. But it could well have been that staff you're talking about.
Okay, where is
Well,
Demon?
sure, I saw him slip off the ship, but I haven't a clue where it could possibly be now. Captain Conrad's the man to ask for such matters.
Take my leave. Talk to Sailor.
sauce? Here? Inside Seal? Bah! Of all the cursed hunks of rock to
Adventures
land on,
4. I mean,
Conrad
again, we're going to
chooses
take
this
it.
one.